I haven't been this disappointed in a VR title since Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Hi, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review The Walking Dead Onslaught, a game released on the Steam store yesterday for all the major headsets. It's by developer Survios, which I'm actually a big fan of. I've liked all their titles. Maybe Electronauts was a little bit of a letdown, and I am completely baffled by what Survios put out with The Walking Dead Onslaught. I don't know if they ran out of funding. That's probably the best explanation I can think of. This is pure speculation on my part, but it feels like a game where they cut several corners and just tried to finish the game on a shoestring budget, probably after wasting all their money on the licensing fees, on the voice actors, and they just had to finish a game with the funding that was left. So that's why this world feels so barren, it feels so lifeless, and the gameplay really lacks any sort of depth and pales in comparison to the modern VR titles such as Half-Life Alyx or The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's just really a poor effort. It feels like a B-movie title, and I bought this, I pre-ordered, I was excited for this game. I thought there was no way Survios would let us down after making so many good VR titles. But this might actually be the death nail for Survios. And the sad part is I don't see how Survios could possibly fix this game with any future updates. There's just fundamental things wrong with the game. They'd have to totally scrap the whole game. They'd have to rework the combat system, the physics, the scavenger missions, just to make it somewhat interesting to play. And I don't see that happening. The Walking Dead Onslaught took me approximately 8 hours to complete, and that was just not the campaign, but I actually finished the whole town of Alexandria. So I 100%ed all the upgrades to Alexandria, so all these scavenger missions, along with finishing the story campaign. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, but I will let you know that the campaign ends mid-story, so you do not get a conclusion to the story. That was disappointing as well. The story is told through cutscenes between Rick and Daryl is recounting a story of what happened, and then mid-story you find out that it's to be continued, and Rick is to decide what to do next after being given that information. One of the major problems with the story is that it's held back by the scavenger missions that you have to do in between the story. So the story is disjointed, it lacks pacing, because you're just given snippets of the story, then you're interrupted by having to do these scavenger missions in order to hear the rest of the story. And the story is not interesting enough that it can afford those interruptions to the pacing. The scavenger missions for me were the worst part of this experience. After you've done a few of those scavenger missions, it starts to feel very boring, tedious, and very repetitive. And the VR interactions in this game are very poor. So to collect objects to scavenge, all you do is point your left motion controller and click grab, and you're going to be clicking that grab over and over and over again. And what you grab doesn't matter. If you can grab it, you grab it. There is no inventory, there is no thought process to it. You just go around and basically look for anything that's highlighted and just keep clicking that grab button, and that's very dull gameplay. Now, you do have various locomotion methods. You can use full locomotion, teleportation, and swing arm locomotion. You do have snap, smooth turning, as well as comfort options. There are lots of settings for this game. I would have liked to have more graphical settings available. What was there was sufficient. However, I have to say the graphics in this game really look downgraded from what was promised in the trailers for this game. And though it's been a while since I've played Arizona Sunshine, I remember Arizona Sunshine looking better than this game. This game has really ugly, muddy textures. It has poor lighting. The 3D models of the zombies are just not very good. I saw several models repeated. And the weapons are also not very good. The physics is almost non-existent. Part of the problem for that is the weapon upgrade system. So, for example, at level 1 unupgraded bat, the physics just don't make a lot of sense. It's not until you upgrade the bat to level 4 and maybe start seeing some zombies fly off that the physics makes some sort of sense in an arcade type game action this game was probably going for, but it just fails miserably, especially at the start of the game. The level 1 unupgraded dagger is your best weapon through most of this game, and you shoot zombies in the head and you just see them keep coming towards you. It just makes no sense. Not until you upgrade that weapon, that gun, that rifle, that shotgun, you finally see zombies falling apart with your one shot, that it starts making sense. But even within the world of The Walking Dead, it just makes zero sense that a shot to the head would not kill a zombie and a shot to the body would. It just fails to live up to the show's own rules and is really immersion breaking for this game. Why get the license for The Walking Dead if you're gonna make game mechanics like that? It makes zero sense. And that's not the only broken game mechanic in this game. Like I mentioned before, I did not like the scavenger missions, but they're part of the story campaign as well. So versus enjoying the tension, the story campaign, you'll be too busy looking for objects strewn about the map versus enjoying the actual story. It's just disappointing overall. This game is running on the Unreal Engine. I was getting a steady 90 frames per second on my 1060 GTX, although I did have the graphical settings lowered to fit my rig. Some people have complained about the voice acting in this game. While I do agree that it's not great, for me it was okay. You do have some of the stars from the show. Obviously, the actor that plays Rick is missing, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't distracting. I think really the story could have been better written and better paced, and that was more of the major problem with the story campaign for this game versus the voice acting itself. Also, this is a little bit of a nitpick, but during the scavenger missions, you can choose which character you want between Rick, Michonne, or Carol. And I found out that it really doesn't matter which one you pick. You really can't tell the difference other than their voice lines, which they repeat often. And some of the voice lines during the scavenger missions or even during the story mission are nice. But especially during the scavenger missions, you'll be hearing a lot of them repeated over and over again. And another problem with the scavenger mission, besides that they're repeated often, is that a lot of the environments just look very much the same. So you'll get that feeling of deja vu after you've played so many scavenger missions, and you definitely don't look forward to it. Or even the upgrades to Alexandria. They're buildings, but how does it make any difference? I played the whole game, I still don't know how upgrading Alexandria helped me all that much. I know I got extra scavenger items. I know that I got more health. And while those are some tangible benefits, you never get to explore Alexandria yourself to see how your work has actually improved the town. It's all just window dressing. Lastly, I did not experience any major bugs while playing this game other than some of the zombies getting stuck within the terrain. That did not happen frequently, however. And this was pretty disappointing overall. Just the game mechanics aren't there for a fun, exciting, immersive VR experience that I was hoping for. So if I have to rate this game, I would rate it a 5 out of 10. Some of you might be surprised by my 5 out of 10 score. It's a neutral recommendation. But keep in mind, a 5 out of 10 for me means completely average. I've played thousands of VR games, and for me, this is completely average. not deserving of a negative recommendation from me, just because for me, negative connotates less than average, whereas this is completely average. But nonetheless, it's very disappointing, and I would only recommend this game to big fans of the Walking Dead series, of the TV show, or buy on deep sale only, maybe for $10 or less. It might be worth it. But yeah, it's disappointing. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
You got nothing to say?
Making sure I follow.
Almost died trying to find this girl. Ain't that worth anything?
Might be. Still need to hear the rest.
Whatever.